hate me, don't you?
Tune in to Kons Podcast.
Collect the beats.
Philly had a national Cheese Steak Day at the Philly airport. Local Cheese Steak Company has broke the Guinness World Record. You know how long you gotta wait. You don't want something to eat. That's why the airports charge $7 for a bag of chips. And UFO specialists, you know what I'm saying? UFO specialists, people have been working within the UFO realm, such as scientists, researchers, anybody tied to UFOs, you know what I mean? Been mysteriously disappearing, something like that, to just disappear, to capture someone, and it'd be no record of it is crazy. Two Asian siblings, one with the name of Anne-Marie Zheng and her brother Alan Zheng, planted an IED. That's improvised. Everybody needs to be ready for something huge to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely wild time. AI is on an escalate rise, being made by China. They're trying to be the number one people to have the most humanoid fighting robots and all this and that, man. It is wild right now. Yeah, what's going on? What's happening? World audience, what's happening? You know what I mean? Thank you for that round of applause. You know what I mean? On that good intro. This is episode 374 today. You know what I mean? Episode 374, Kons Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Got a little bit of topics for you. Some things to put in your ear. Hopefully you ain't heard about. You know what I mean? But thank you for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday. Good Friday. It's a good weekend. Hopefully you had a good, productive week. You know what I mean? You made it to this weekend and you ready to kick your feet up with the long week that you done had. You know what I mean? Being productive. Hopefully you got a promotion. You deserve it. You know what I mean? But yeah, 79 degrees. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that heat is creeping back in. We're finna hit these summertime heat. News been saying it's gonna be the hottest summer 2026. So be prepared for the heat coming. It's definitely finna hit. It's funny because it's hot in one parts of the world. Some parts of the world is blizzards. Some parts of the world is flooding, snowing, a whole lot of rain. Some parts is super cold. So there's a whole lot of extremities in the weather going on right now all over the world, in different parts of the world, all at the same time, which can't be good. You know what I mean? But that's good old heart for you. Definitely manipulating the weather and all that. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother episode. You know what I mean? But yeah, today we're gonna jump in this Philly, how Philly cheesesteaks broke a record at the Philly airport out there. You know what I mean? We're also gonna touch on how these UFO specialists been just disappearing out of nowhere into thin air, as it seems in some cases. You know what I mean? Two Asian siblings. One of them planted a IED at an Air Force out in Tampa, Florida. We're gonna touch on that. Hit you with news reports and all that. You know what I mean? This your first time joining in. First of all, you should hit the like button for liking this content. You know what I mean? Definitely you should share this out with your friends or share it on your Facebook page or wherever you at with social media. Put it on there for me. You know what I mean? Let somebody else watch it. If you don't even watch it, at least share it out for me. You know what I'm saying? But this your first time. This is where we go over the news, go over headlines, go over whatever headline that may have been popping. You know what I'm saying? Whatever headline you might have seen whenever you log on to your computer. Whether your homepage is Google News, NBC News, Hip Hop DX, whatever it is that you get your headlines and news from. I'm probably touching on 1, 2, or 3 of them right here on Kons Podcast. You know what I mean? So let me keep you updated on this wicked world. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's episode 374. Without no more chit chat or further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into these topics. You know what I'm saying? So Philly had a national Cheese Steak Day at the Philly airport. Local Cheese Steak Company has broke the Guinness World Record for the longest line of cheesesteaks with 1,291 cheesesteaks. They did this at the airport out there and gave them away for free to everybody in the airport. So everybody being mad about the long lines and the layoffs with TSA and all that, Philly decided to take Cheesesteak Day and bring it to the airport and bless the people in the airport with cheesesteak sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? So they had a whole, and plus they broke the Guinness World Record along the lines of it. You know what I mean? 2 birds with 1 stone. People got to eat. You know, when you in the airport, you definitely stressing out. You're a little hungry. It's definitely nice to see some free food, and it's good at that. Who don't like a good Philly cheesesteak? You know what I mean? But now, next clips you're gonna see is just more clips and the coverage on this about them breaking the record for the longest line of cheesesteaks out in Philly on National Cheesesteak Day. Check it out.
Yes News Philadelphia.
It's official. Philly has created the longest line of cheesesteaks in the world.
That's what Philadelphia is known for.
We are proud
to tell our stories.
It's Cheese Steak Day!
This was about 1,200 feet long. That's the length of about 4 football fields or so.
What I love about this is it's so specific to the Philadelphia community.
I don't know about you, but all I need is on my cheesesteak is ketchup and mayo. What say you?
125 pounds of cheese, 990 pounds of shaved ribeye. We're going to make world history with the sandwich that we all love. Today, my friends, is Cheese Steak Day!
I feel like I'm in heaven right now. I remember walking down here, I smelled the aroma. I was like,
Cheese Steak, Cheese Steak, Cheese Steak!
We're at the Philadelphia International Airport. It's the largest place in the city to get the most number of cheesesteaks. You can get a cheesesteak in every terminal. So as we were planning 2026, we wanted to do something tied to our Cheesesteak Week program, something that we didn't think anyone else could achieve, the Guinness World Record for longest line of cheesesteaks.
We're looking to make world history, and we're going to find out real soon if we have.
So the rules, we had to make sure that the cheesesteaks touched end to end. So that was one of the biggest challenges that we had. The rolls had to be 12 inches, chopped beefsteak, and we had to have some sort of cheese.
That was crazy. Too many cheesesteaks.
And we kind of did it assembly style, where it's like one person was doing rolls, one person was doing meat, and one person was doing cheese. And cheesesteaks are so quintessential to the city. So seeing it all come together, the Omarosa rolls, the Philly's best steak, with the Cooper Sharp cheese, incredible moment.
I'm thinking about the fact that they're free. I'm going to get one after. So I'm really excited.
They just can't wait to get their hands on cheesesteak because we're going to feed all TSA, the airport employees, and all the people that are watching. The culture of Philadelphia says, make cheesesteaks, share them. The city of brotherly love.
The mark to beat was 500. You had a total of 1,200.
It ended up being 1,291 cheesesteak sandwiches, so it ends up being 1,291 feet. And you saw there was over 100 people that helped put this together. We didn't think we could do it, but here we are. I wanted them to just walk away and be a part of something that they'll never experience again, but to also remember what we did and to take a little bit of Philadelphia with them.
Let you know they broke the record. A lot of people was happy and satisfied eating sandwiches at the airport. That shit had to come at a good time, you know what I mean? Definitely, because we all been in the airport. You know, the airport, you could be either stressed out or relaxed, you know what I mean? Either one or the other at the airport. You always definitely, depending on how long you gotta wait, you gonna want something to eat. That's why them airports charge $7 for a bag of chips and $5 for a little 16-ounce soda or something like that, you know what I'm saying? But the airports know they can do that though, you know what I mean? This was dope. If I was out there, I definitely would have went and got me a Philly sandwich for sure. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have pulled up without even traveling nowhere. Just give me a free Philly cheesesteak sandwich. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's dope though. You know what I mean? Definitely broke a record, and along with satisfying people for the free 99. You know what I mean? We always like a good free 99 deal. UFO specialists. You know what I'm saying? UFO specialists, people been working within the UFO realm, such as scientists, researchers, anybody tied to UFOs. You know what I mean? Been mysteriously disappearing, as Trump said he was going to expose the UFO file in public.
Searching for a retired Air Force general who vanished in New Mexico. William McCasland went missing last month. Members of Congress are warning this could be a national security issue. The general was involved with the Pentagon's most advanced aerospace research. He oversaw a classified space weapons program. McCasland was in charge of the Air Force Research Lab at a base in Ohio. It's rumored that base holds extraterrestrial debris from the Roswell crash site. The general was tied in with the UFO community. A source told the New York Post the general was a gatekeeper for anything UFO related in the Air Force. He retired due to mental fog, but investigators say he's still highly intelligent and capable. McCasland was an avid hiker. His wife last saw him leaving with a backpack and a .38 revolver. No phone, no glasses. He disappeared 6 days right after Trump announced he was releasing the UFO files. And he's not the only one. 8 months before the general vanished, a rocket scientist who worked under him years ago also went missing. She was hiking in California with 2 other people. They saw her smiling and waving 30 feet behind them. When they turned back again, She was gone, vanished in plain sight. They searched for days and couldn't find any trace of her. This is a very, very strange situation. And 11 days before the general disappeared, another scientist was shot dead on his porch. Carl Grillmar was known for discovering signs of water on a distant planet. He was gunned down in California. Freddie Snyder was later charged with his murder. He has a rap sheet, but was let out of jail by a Newsom-appointed judge weeks before he allegedly killed the scientist.
A weapons gentleman went missing along with several others in that industry have all mysteriously disappeared. One of them was even gunned down in front of his house. As you either heard in the clip you just heard, or you're going to hear it in the clips coming up. Can't remember which one. But one of them was even gunned down in front of his house. You know what I mean? The next clips you're going to see is just some more report on this mysterious matter. How people that are tied to the UFO and information on them has been disappearing. Check it out.
That right after President Trump said to declassify all the UFO stuff, that the UFO experts that you have personal knowledge of and that you have personal connection to, they've gone missing or wound up dead.
Well, one did, the one everybody's looking for, and it's pretty, I don't know the circumstances. He left with a 38 in his holster, and you're never going to convince me otherwise. I don't care what they find. I don't care what they find at this point. My wife said it the other day, how does somebody disappear in this day and age? How do they disappear?
Looks like this
and
is...
I just think there's a lot going on. We got to get to the bottom of it. And there's a lot of, and I talked to the president about that. He asked me what I thought, and I said, Mr. President, I think it's like an onion. You just keep peeling it back. There's that lady right there. She had metallurgical knowledge, some of our missiles and stuff, and it's just too much, Benny. Too much is going on right now.
Advanced aerospace propulsion and plasma physics, fusion and rocket tech is the individual who's recently gone missing. Well, that sure as hell sounds like working on the UFO project.
In the last 10 months, 5 American scientists have gone missing. All of them have ties to UFO programs. Out of those missing people, one was a retired Major General, Neil McCaslin. McCaslin was responsible for managing the Air Force's $2.2 billion science and technology program at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. That base is notoriously known for storing the UFO that crashed in Roswell. Something in the realm, he grabbed his hat. This is what the wife said. He grabbed his hat, he grabbed his .38 pistol, and he walked outside with no phone and never returned. The wife says no foul play. This lady, Monica Jacinto Reza, an aerospace materials engineer, co-inventor of Mondelloy, the exotic alloy engineered for next-gen rocket nozzles and hypersonic skins. She worked directly under McCaslin's funding umbrella at the AFRL Space Vehicle Directorate. She vanished June 22nd, 2025 while hiking in the Angeles National Forest with a colleague. 30 feet behind her partner 1 second, gone the next. No scream, no struggle, no body. When they were describing this to the police, they said they were walking the trail and they thought Monica was trailing along, and they said about 30 seconds passed since the last time they looked at her. When they looked back, she was completely gone. Now what does this sound like? To me, this sounds like an extraction. Are they making these people just freak out and run to specific locations and then extract them from there? Dr. Nuno Loureiro, a plasma physicist, freshly installed director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. He was shot at his Brooklyn, Massachusetts home. This was by a former classmate. Dr. Nuno was on the cusp of breakthroughs in high energy density plasma that could crack practical fusion, the kind that ends oil dependency overnight. Dr. Carl Grimmer Caltech, he was an astrophysicist hunting exoplanets and dark matter signatures. He was shot dead on his own porch in California, February 16th, 2026. Grimmer's team had just flagged water and potential biosignatures on worlds less than 160 light years out. The next person is Dr. Jason Thomas, chemical biologist, assistant director at Novartis. He disappeared December 12, 2025. Remains fished out of Lake Quannapowitt in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Novartis holds Fat DoD and HHS contracts. Official line is that there's no foul play. So I guess that your body parts being in a lake is not foul play. That is accidental.
People just been disappearing. Then there was that one case. The girl was behind them. They turned around, seen her waving and smiling, and turned around, and she was just gone, disappeared. Now, then the dude that was being interviewed got up a good point too. How does somebody disappear in 2026? Yeah, it is just not likely that you're not going to be seen on camera unless you got some type of inside connections or something like that to just disappear with to capture someone, and it'd be no record of it is crazy to do in 2026. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the age to be having people capturing people, kidnapping people, and you're not on camera doing so somewhere. You know what I mean? Somewhere, some camera, some electric eye is going to be picking you up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. This is weird to me. You know what I mean? I thought this was weird. You know what I mean? People who didn't know about it, you know what I'm saying? UFO people that's been, anybody tied to UFOs and information and research on UFOs, they've been disappearing, getting gunned down, getting off body, whatever, executed, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's been a good 10, 12 of them. You know what I'm saying? This can't be no coincidence. And it ain't on accident. You know what I mean? After you are selecting people in the same industry that are tied to the same things, and they are being off in a rapid succession, that is definitely not no coincidence. That ain't random. That's definitely something strategically planned out. Like she said, you know what I mean? How can you disappear, pull off a disappearance in 2026? It just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? I thought this was wild. In case you ain't heard about it, hopefully you just now heard about it right here. Yo, what's happening? What's going on? You feel me? It's Kons Podcast, you know what I'm saying? So now's the time for you to hit that subscribe button. You feel me? If you ain't done it already, go on and do that now. You know what I'm saying? Right now is the perfect time to do so. You know what I'm saying? Right in the middle of the episode. You feel me? And I'm gonna probably remind you again at the end of this episode. You know what I'm saying? So go on and hit that subscribe button right now. You feel me? Yeah, let's get back to the episode. You know what I'm saying? Two siblings. Then we had two siblings. You know what I'm saying? Two siblings, two Asian siblings. One with the name of Anne-Marie Zheng, and her brother Alan Zheng planted an IED, that's an improvised explosive device, near Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida. Anna-Marie Zheng was caught, but she helped her brother escape and flee to China. They also said it took 6 days for anyone to discover the device. Somebody had finally called about it. Luckily, it had not detonated. When they searched the sisters' home, Anne-Marie Zheng's home, they found the same substance that was on the IEDs all in her house. You know what I mean? Which definitely led it to believe that she was behind it even more so. You know what I'm saying? So the next clips you're going to see is just more clips telling you about this matter of them placing a bomb at the Air Force Base out in Tampa. Check it out.
What we don't hear is that officials say it took 6 days for this explosive device to be discovered. They say that it was real. It could have killed a lot of people, but for some reason, it did not detonate.
According to federal authorities, Alan Zheng planted an explosive device on March 10th near MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida. Minutes later, a 911 call reported a bomb had been placed on the base.
The MacDill personnel searched the base and the entire base and did not find the device at that time.
It was eventually discovered on March 16th. By then, prosecutors say Zheng and his sister, Anne-Marie Zheng, had sold the black Mercedes used to transport the bomb to the base and fled to China. Anne-Marie later returned and was charged with being an accessory after the fact and tampering with evidence. Alan is facing 3 counts, including attempting to destroy government property and making and possessing an explosive device.
A search warrant was obtained by the FBI to search Zheng's home, and they found IED components consistent with the bomb that had been placed at MacDill Air Force Base.
MacDill Air Force Base houses Central Command, in charge of military operations in the Middle East, including the war with Iran. Officials say they have no motive.
We're exploring every avenue we can to get him back to the United States.
China does not have an extradition treaty with the U.S., although it does negotiate in some cases. Prosecutors say they don't have any evidence that Zheng was working with the Chinese government. Tony?
Christian, thank you very
much. You know what I'm saying? That was them placing a bomb there. Nobody even discovered it for like 6 days. You know what I'm saying? This is something crazy. What is going on with these military bases being, breach of security? You know what I'm saying? This is the second time. First we had them 2 dudes steal 2 drones each. 4 drones, you know what I'm saying, from a military base. Now we got a woman who implanted an IED next to it. I don't know what her plans was. Luckily, it didn't go off or it didn't detonate. Maybe they caught it before she was planning to do it. Maybe it was faulty. We don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe she had a date that was coming and she was planning to detonate this. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's weird though. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's being that they are of Chinese descent. You know what I mean? Usually don't see Chinese people doing terrorist things. You know what I'm saying? That's just, commonly we just don't really see that. So I thought this was definitely a little weird. You know what I mean? What is going on here? Is this a psyop? Is this something? Was y'all drugged up? Was y'all induced on something? Did y'all was coerced to do what? What was going on? Because it didn't seem like this was something that y'all would do looking at the past. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, I thought this was weird though. You know what I'm saying? Another attack, as it's saying, but it didn't detonate though on a military base. You know what I'm saying? A base that's tied to the military. Man, this is crazy times right now. You know what I mean? Everybody needs to be ready for something huge to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely wild times. AI is on an rise. It's rising up. You know what I mean? We got fighting robots and robots doing kung fu, and 50,000 deployed humanoid robots is being deployed, being made by China. They trying to be the #1 people to have the most humanoid fighting robots and all this and that, man. It is wild right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely end times. You know what I mean? So be prepared. Go get you cases of water and food that don't expire. Get you bags of rice and beans, because we don't know what's going to happen in this country. You know what I mean? It is definitely spiraling right now, especially with the wars going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's everything that I've been predicting. I predicted AI is going to take this planet over. For sure it is. You know what I mean? I predicted the wars was coming 6-7 months ago. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you've been following or not, but if you ain't, hopefully you start to. Yeah, because I ain't telling you no lies on here. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got for episode 374. You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You know what I'm saying? Now I usually do a little recap. You know what I mean? In case this is the point where, in case you might have pulled up, in case you might have rolled up, in case it was too cold and the drink was too heavy for you. You got a little too powered. You know what I mean? Or you heard your kid fighting in another room or upstairs fighting over who turn it was over Minecraft or Roblox, whatever it is that they was playing. You heard them start fighting and cussing, body slamming. You had to step away in case you had to step away and go handle that. You know what I mean? And you back now. That's everything that I just went over that you might have missed. I told you about the Philly had a National Cheese Steak Day. They broke the record for the longest line of cheesesteaks with 1,291 of at the airport out there and gave them all away for free. Also let you know that UFO specialists, people working with UFOs, people tied to UFOs, UFO research, UFO scientists, anything of that nature been disappearing, being executed, being bodied, kidnapped, whatever the case may be. They've been picking them and executing, knocking them off one by one. Also let you know 2 siblings of Asian descent had planted an IED explosive device near an Air Force base out in Tampa. Luckily it didn't detonate and they caught on to the sister, but the brother had fled to China. You know what I mean? But that's everything I'll let you know for episode 374. You know what I'm saying? Thank you all y'all for tuning in. Thank you all y'all for watching, because you could have been doing anything you wanted to do in the world, no matter who you was. You know what I mean? Whether he's a little brother, little sister, older brother, older sister, whether he's a niece, a nephew, a auntie, uncle, a grandma, grandpa, whether he was a mother, a father, you know what I'm saying? You could have been cousin Pookie, cousin Mookie, cousin Pete, cousin Man, you know what I'm saying? If you got pets sitting there too, right along with you, your pet is sitting there watching Kons Podcast, whether your pet could be a pet cat, you have a pet hedgehog, a pet squirrel, you have a pet hyena, a pet lion, you have a pet tiger, you have a pet monkey, you have a pet goat, you know what I'm saying? You can have a pet squirrel, a pet dog, you know what I mean? Whoever your pet is, you feel me? If they got eyes on Kons Podcast, definitely give them a good salute. I can see the emoji scrolling up that screen, you know what I'm saying? But thank all y'all for tuning in, thank all y'all for watching. It's been episode 374, you know what I mean? I hope y'all have a dope weekend. It is Friday, you know what I mean? Kick it, pull up, roll up, you know what I'm saying? Kick your feet up, get prepared for that good Monday that's going to be coming up real fast, you know what I'm saying? The beat you hear creeping up was definitely made by none other than Infectious, a beat collector beats, you know what I mean? That's how we're going to end this Friday with an infectious beat, you know what I'm saying? But thank all y'all for tuning in, thank all y'all for watching, you know what I mean? It's been Kons Podcast episode 374. Please share this out, let somebody know about it.
fuck, stand still. You understand that?
Wait me, don't you?